without further ado, I want to introduce you to a very special guest, Abel Avellan, founder, chairman, and CEO of AST SpaceMobile.
Hey guys,
Abel,
thank you, Scott.
Thank you for joining us.
Yes.
This is quite an exciting day for the company, for us, for you personally.
Yeah.
Maybe you could start by just taking us back to the beginning of AST. How did you come to decide to tackle this problem? Why did you think that direct-to-cell was a good problem for you? How did you find this?
Right. Well, as you know, Scott, I've been in communication for 25 years, and this is not my first company. And one day it occurred to me what it would happen if everybody can have a phone that works regardless of where you are.
Yeah.
And when that idea came to fruition, I really started thinking about how we do it, with who we do it. And one of the most important things that we thought at the time is it has to work in any phone, every phone, regardless of where it is or what is the manufacturer, what is the G, if it's 2G, 3G, 4G, 5G. And more importantly, it has to be something that do not leave people behind. There's this concept that only people that live in New York, in Miami, in Los Angeles, in San Francisco are the ones that can have 30 megabits into their phone. My view, my mission in life, and what we engineer here, we're about to launch now, it is a solution that regardless of where you are, you will have 5G speeds. And that's what we're doing, that's what occurred to us. And then, of course, I'm not doing this alone, doing it with great people like you, and a lot of scientists, and a lot of hard work to get to this.
Yeah, so building on that, you mind talking a little bit about kind of how you came to the partners that were involved in, how we ended up with relationships with over 25 MNOs globally. How do they think about this direct-to-cell phone solution? Well,
as you know, this is not my first rodeo. And it is obvious that you want to get to 5 billion users, you cannot do it by yourself.
Right.
And the wireless industry is an industry within 25 companies, there's billions of users. So on our initial mission always has been, we want to have a solution where we can get fast to market, where we will focus on the technology, on our IP. That requires partners that have a spectrum, that have marketing, that have ability to get to the end user. And the mobile operator have 5 billion subscribers. So our concept was we need to partner with them. We need to be an extension of them. We don't want to compete with them, we want to complement them. When you think about that 90% of the Earth's surface do not have cellular coverage, when you think about that 50% of the world population do not have a broadband on their phone, and there's a community of wonderful companies that invest hundreds of billions of dollars a year to serve that market, and it's a very complementary. So they are our partners, they are our customers, they are our investors. Vodafone is the largest cellular operator outside China. It's the largest holder of spectrum globally, and they are a founder partner for us. So for us, the relationship with the telco is very symbiotic. It's been for a long time. I've been in this for 25 years. We truly understood what it takes to work and operate with them, and that's how it happened. So now we have access to around 2 billion subscribers that we can access through the partnerships that we have with the telcos that we partner with, and it has been fantastic, and it's not stopping here.
Yeah, no, for sure. One other common question we get, there's a lot of excitement about space building over the last decade. How do we fit in? How do you look at the other historical space communications companies? How do we fit into that ecosystem that you helped create?
Yeah, I think you have to think about it and always related back to terrestrial, what people use on the ground today, and then extrapolate how they look in space. So you have the fiber people that provide a lot of, companies that provide a lot of connectivity into a location. That's the equivalent to the ecosystem, the companies that provide broadband using an antenna. Something where you need to plug into electricity, you need to buy it, you need to install it, you need to make sure there's not a tree in front of it. But the good thing about that is that you will get a lot of capacity that you will do in fiber. Of course, satellite is not built to compete with fiber, but it's the equivalent of that. So you have the Wi-Fi or broadband solutions. By the way, that's been going for 25 years, and that's what I did before for a long, long time. Then that's one segment of the market. And, then you have the other segment of the market where you have specialized phones, where connecting a phone into something that is in space is nothing new. It has been going on for forever. But of course, an ugly, bulky phone.
It's big, yeah.
And that nobody wants to carry unless that is an absolute necessity for them. I have one, but I always have one or two of them. And but that's that market that obviously have saved life and have fit their purpose. And then you have us, and within us you're going to see a shaping of how the market works. So and with us we're the only one that is designed from the get-go through IP, through our bottom-up design of a system, which is to provide broadband regardless of where you are. Mm-hmm. I always been coming from emerging markets and grew up in places where connectivity is not good. I remember the first time that I have in my phone a rotary phone and how that changed my life.
Right.
So I am a big believer that nobody needs to be a secondary or a second type of citizen because of where you live or work. So our mission, our differentiation, and that's where size matters, that's where the IP matters, right. That's where the technology matters, is right. We will be providing 5G, 4G speeds no matter where. And that we will do that everywhere. We will fill the gaps in 90% of the Earth that do not have cellular broadband. We will connect people that will be connected for the first time. And that's us. That's what we're doing. We're super excited. We'll be launching BlueWalker 3 today. It is long coming for us. It is the implementation of our patents, IPs, and the technology that we have developed. And again, we're doing it together with the telcos.
Yeah. No, with our last couple of minutes, it would be great to talk a little bit more about the satellite on the launch pad back here. So tell us a little bit more about why BlueWalker 3 matters at this stage for us. How did you build it? How long did it take?
Yeah, well, BlueWalker 3 is the end of the R&D process. It had thousands of learnings of how to build a large structure that deploy in space and that is designed to connect directly to a handset. So building a structure of this kind never had been done. So this is a 1.5 ton satellite with a large array that need to stay in orbit, moving at a speed faster than a bullet. And it has to be pointing in a certain way that the phones can receive the signal. And at the same time, implement a lot of the IPs that we have, which are the fixes that you need to do in order to allow any phone, without any modification, without any built-in inside, to work. So that's, of course, is extremely important for us. We are in the middle already. We're constructing the next 5 satellites. We're going to be launching them next year. We're also industrializing the technology with Site 2 in Texas, where we will be ramping up to 6 satellites per month. And we're very hopeful that BlueWalker 3 is the beginning of us changing the world for better for a little bit. That's what is important. It's a great night. There's a lot of people here, very grateful for that, and we'll be launching soon, in hopefully minutes.
Absolutely, and that's the last question for you. We're getting a lot of audience feedback right now.
Yep.
So what is going to happen next? What should we expect next? Obviously, we're going to launch.
Right.
We're going to touch the satellite, connect to the satellite, do a health and wellness checks we've talked about over the next 2 months. We're going to unfold the satellite, configure the satellite. What does this launch campaign look like? What should people look for?
Well, what will happen tonight when the launch is a go, hopefully in a few minutes, we will go up for approximately 45 minutes, and they will be injected to the orbit where we'll be located. That orbit is designed to be high enough that you are on a no-gravity environment, but low enough that you can connect directly to the cell phones because of the size of the array. So we will tonight. We will after the first 45 minutes. We will get to the orbit where we are expecting to get. Immediately when we launch, my team, myself, we had a bus here that's taken back to the control room, basically to make sure that we get into where we need to be. There will be weeks of testing the satellite, observing how it got to orbit, doing some slew maneuvers to check it, to do. And then over the several weeks, we will plan at the right temperature and the right time when we will deploy. Then after deploying, we had a frequency allocation. The FCC have given us experimental license in the United States to do testing. Both 2 sites in Texas, 2 sites in Hawaii. Also, we have sites in the ocean, but we also have sites in every continent where we have gotten a spectrum in partnership with our network operators to basically test the technology. And that will be a long process of around 6 months. So, but in the next few weeks, 4 to 6 weeks, we will gearing up to that, and then we will be deploying people all around the globe doing testing. It's super exciting.
It's amazing.
Super exciting, and again, our view and our plan is it's not an SOS super limited. We want everybody to be able to get broadband regardless where they live or work.
Yeah, no, it's an impressive mission, one I'm really proud to be a part of. So thank you
Yes.
so much, Abel.
Thank
I'll
you,
let you get
Scott.
back to it.
Thank you.